Imagine a peaceful Christmas Eve turned into a lifelong nightmare by the mysterious disappearance of 5 children. This is the story of the Sodder children, who vanished from their home in Fayetteville, West Virginia, under strange circumstances in 1945. The case remains unsolved and continues to perplex and haunt the family and those who delve into its many twists and turns. On the night of December 24, 1945, George and Jenny Sodder, along with 9 of their 10 children, were asleep in their 2-story farmhouse. At around 1 a.m., a fire broke out. Quickly engulfing the house, George and Jenny, along with 4 of their children, managed to escape. But the remaining 5 children, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, were never seen again. Despite extensive searches and investigations, no remains were ever found, leading to a host of theories about what might have happened. The initial investigation concluded that the fire was caused by faulty wiring, but the Sodders were not convinced. George had recently had the house rewired, and witnesses claimed to have seen the missing children alive after the fire. This led the Sodders to suspect foul play and embark on a decades-long quest for answers. Several suspicious events occurred before and during the fire that fueled the family's doubts. For instance, a stranger had visited the Sodder home a few months earlier, asking about hauling work. He pointed out 2 separate fuse boxes and claimed they would cause a fire someday. Around the same time, another man tried to sell George life insurance and became irate when George declined, saying, "Your house will go up in smoke, and your children are going to be destroyed." Furthermore, the family received a strange phone call that night, and someone had cut the telephone line to the house. On the night of the fire, Jenny Sodder heard a loud bang on the roof and a rolling sound, followed by the smell of smoke. The family's attempts to rescue the children were thwarted by a series of bizarre occurrences. The ladder usually kept by the house was found in a ditch. The family's trucks wouldn't start despite having worked the previous day, and water in the rain barrels was frozen solid. Despite the official explanation, the Sodders were convinced that their children had been kidnapped. They hired private investigators and even a pathologist to examine the scene. The pathologist found no evidence of the children's remains in the ashes, which should have been present given the intensity of the fire. Additionally, several reported sightings of the children were made in the weeks and months following the fire, but none were substantiated. The Sodders erected a billboard on Route 16 near Fayetteville, offering a reward for information leading to the recovery of their children. This billboard remained in place for decades, becoming a symbol of their relentless pursuit of the truth. The family also distributed flyers and sought help from various agencies, but no definitive answers were ever found. Theories about the disappearance of the Sodder children abound. Some speculate that they were taken by an organized crime syndicate due to George's outspoken opposition to Benito Mussolini and the Italian government, leading to retaliation from pro-fascist elements within the Italian-American community. Others believe the children were kidnapped by someone who knew the family, perhaps even with the complicity of local authorities. The involvement of organized crime is a theory that gained traction due to George Sodder's outspoken anti-fascist views. As an Italian immigrant, George was vocal about his opposition to Mussolini, which made him a target for some within the Italian community who supported the dictator. This led to speculation that the fire and the disappearance of the children were acts of retaliation. However, no solid evidence has ever been found to support this theory. Another theory is that the children were kidnapped and taken to Italy. This theory was bolstered by reported sightings of the children with Italian-speaking adults, but like many other leads, it failed to produce concrete evidence. The lack of remains and the conflicting accounts of what happened that night have made it difficult to rule out any possibilities definitively. In 1968, more than 20 years after the fire, Jenny Sodder received a photograph in the mail of a young man who bore a striking resemblance to her son, Louis. The photograph was accompanied by a cryptic note that read, "Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie, Elil boys, A90132 or 35. Despite hiring a private detective to follow up on this lead, the Sodders never found out who sent the photograph or if it was indeed their missing son. The case of the Sodder children has also been the subject of various books and documentaries, each exploring different aspects of the mystery. The continued interest in the case reflects the enduring human fascination with unsolved mysteries and the hope that one day the truth might be uncovered. The Sodders' determination to find their children and their refusal to accept the official explanation has inspired many and kept the story alive for generations. The psychological impact of the disappearance on the Sodder family was profound. George and Jenny's relentless search for their children consumed their lives. George passed away in 1969, still hoping for a breakthrough. Jenny wore black mourning clothes for the rest of her life and maintained the family's billboard until her death in 1989. The surviving Sodder children were deeply affected as well, continuing the search for their siblings and keeping the story alive through the years. Despite the lack of resolution, the story of the Sodder children serves as a poignant reminder of the enduring pain and uncertainty faced by families of missing persons. The case has become a symbol of the lengths to which people will go in search of the truth and the hope that, even after many years, answers can still be found. As we delve deeper into other infamous cases, our next video will explore the mysterious disappearance of Asha Degree, a 9-year-old girl who vanished from her North Carolina home in 2000 under mysterious circumstances. Stay tuned as we examine the details, the theories, and the ongoing search for answers in this perplexing case. Don't miss it. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing stories and mysteries.